update on the Canary. I had replaced the fuel pump relay. Fuel pump still stays on after stalling out. It's not smoking right now, but I just took it to get gas. See if it stalls. The fuel pump just keeps going. Fuel pump to turn off here. If you can hear it, fuel pump comes on, just stays on. Just stays on. I replaced the fuel pressure regulator. I replaced the fuel pump relay mounted on the firewall, or excuse me, the passenger side fender well. And it's still getting way too much fuel. You can just tell the fuel pump is not kicking off. So now it's like really flooded. It won't even start probably. Yeah, she's getting a lot of fuel. Yeah, I've already played with it. The timing seems to be perfect, but that should have messed with the fuel pump relay. I replaced both these relays here. As you can see right here. Both these have been replaced. I want to check grounds, and then the next thing is the ECU. I can't think of what else it could be. The good news is that I have another manual ECU mass airflow motor right here. I can pull the ECU out of the other box body and try it on this one to see if that does anything. But it's getting too much fuel. Any ideas, let me know, any suggestions. Well, back to the basics. So digging around, I started to check my grounds. And this main ground coming off the battery here was just sitting on this hole. With no nut, no washer, just sitting there. So I'm gonna adjust my timing again because it seems to be revving a little high. I'm gonna do that right now. So I did put a nut and washer on this ground coming off the battery, and it just did the same exact thing. It still ran. It was running kind of high idle. I didn't even bother adjusting the timing because it stalled out on its own, and you can just hear the fuel pump going still. So I'm not sure why the fuel pump just continues to go on. The fuel pump relay is new. Like I said, the fuel pressure regulator is new. So that guy's new right there. And I just checked the ground coming off the back of the block. This guy right here, that's coming off the back of the block, and it goes all the way over here down to the firewall. Let's see, let's see. I don't see it. Where is it? I just had it. Anyway, it's over there. So it's not the grounds. You can see it right there. That ground strap right there going to the back of the block off the firewall. Yeah, I got to keep digging. Don't know why the fuel pump stays on. Usually that's a fuel pressure regulator, but I replaced that. Replaced the fuel pump relay. The fuel pump has to be good, but I said earlier I might just take the ECU out of the new Fox project there, throw it in this one, and see if it does the same exact thing. If it does the same exact thing, that tells me that it could be my ECU in this car. That's the only other thing I can think of. Alright, so I know earlier I had replaced, or excuse me, I mounted the ground wire, but I actually went and bought a new ground wire. The wire that was going from from here to the body, right down here, this wire actually burned right before the connection. It was corroded. Not burned, but corroded, and then it was also kind of burned where the rubber was melted. So I just bought a new one. I bought a shorter length ground, so it wasn't such a huge one to go down here to the body, or excuse me, to the block. So that's mounted there. I also replaced the fuel pump relay again, this guy right there. And then I also replaced the EEC relays, both of them. So let me see if I can see these in here. So here, I pulled out the EEC relays. And then, yeah, so my next thing is probably to look at this computer to see what's going on. I'm not sure why it's doing this, but the fuel pump stays on. You hear it click over. Let me see if it does it now. If I just leave the key forward, you can hear the relays clicking. Let me see if it does it now. So you're not hearing any noise, and then all of a sudden it'll click like crazy. You can hear the fuel injectors clicking, and then obviously filling with fuel. The clicking noise is coming from the fuel pump relay when it does click over like that. I don't know what else it could be. I'm guessing the ECU. So I already took pictures of this ECU part number. I'm going to compare it to the one on the 88 GT right there. That car was already converted over to mass air. It originally came with speed density, so I'm guessing the ECU on that car was also swapped out. So I'm going to check to see if it's the same part number, just to swap it and throw it on this one and see what it does. Yeah, as long as it's the same part number, of course. But let's see. I'm trying to see if I can get the clicking sound. It's not clicking off of the EEC relays. I checked that already. Let's see if it stalls out. Someone else online had said to try to ground the green wire coming off this relay. And I checked, it does have good ground at it. So I did check that ground coming off that relay. See? The fuel pump just stays on. Any help would greatly be appreciated. Thanks.